Just finished Chapter 10, Mayhem at the Ministry. A rather poor title choice, considering we don't get to see any of said Mayhem at the Ministry.
Just hear about it.
Yeah, I mean, a secondhand source, basically.
And it sounds like most of the Mayhem isn't directly at the Ministry.
More like we've got a very annoying reporter. Anyway.
So it's more like Mayhem at the Prophet?
Mayhem from the Prophet.
Mayhem from the Prophet.
Anyway, the artwork for Chapter 10 is... Well, it's the dress robe with all of the lace and stuff on it.
Poor Ron.
It looks like a robe like a king would wear.
It kind of does, just not as poofy. I think of like fur lining more than lace.
Oh, yeah. From where I'm sitting, it looked more like fur lining, but yeah, no. Upon closer inspection, it's definitely lace. Can't quite tell if it's moth-eaten or not, but...
What baffles me so much is that you would think that either of his older brothers that aren't in Hogwarts would have a dress robe they could lend him, basically.
Yeah, especially Bill.
Literally.
Like, Bill, Charlie, and freaking Percy.
Percy's not going to lend him anything. He's got too much of a stick up his
but
ass.
Charlie, well, maybe not Charlie, but Bill at least should have had something that he could have worn.
Like, Charlie... He trains dragons.
But you never know when he has to go to some kind of formal event about dragons.
Right, but Bill's more likely to have to go.
He, like, literally works for the bank and travels.
Yeah. And he's got a very important job at the bank, being a curse breaker, so that definitely says, yeah, he would need robes.
And, like, so one of them's had to have gone to a friend's wedding.
I'd like to think that Percy would have one, and due to the fact that he's... I know, but he lives under his mom and dad's house. I feel like there would be some semblance of pressure.
Molly could just be like, you either pay rent, or you let Ron use these.
Especially
and you're broke as shit.
Especially considering at this point in time, Percy probably wouldn't be under the impression he would need it. And so I feel like Percy would have probably, like... I feel like Percy would have said something to his mom, but his mom would have been like, you can buy your own new one. Just let Ron use the old ones.
Yeah, but it's also the whole, like, you pay rent or else kind of thing. She's too family-oriented to threaten something like that.
I'm surprised that Harry had the thought at the end of he would willingly split half the gold in his bank, in his vault, but the Weasleys wouldn't take it. So it's like, why not just, like...
Donate it anonymously?
Well, not even
like,
that.
Oh,
you
won a prize from the Bailey Prophet.
Why doesn't Harry have the thought right then and there of, can I just buy you a set of good robes?
Right, why doesn't he just order some and get them delivered to Ron?
Right.
Like,
you know what? He could even lie and say Percy sent him or something. Like anything.
Well, he'd never believe that.
Or Sirius sent him.
Yeah.
Sirius sent him.
He could have asked. You know what? You could have asked Sirius. You cannot tell me Sirius would not.
Sirius has so much money as well. He bought a fucking firebolt.
That apparently he can just have anybody use.
Here's the thing, though, is like Ron and Sirius get compared so much over the course of the series and stuff, and you're telling me it didn't cross his mind to be like, hey, Sirius, you wouldn't happen to have a set of dress robes that aren't like from the last century that my buddy Ron could borrow?
To be fair,
it's not like he has access to his old clothes.
Well, no, he's been in Azkaban for 14 years at this point, or on the run / Azkaban. He probably would not have anything good.
House. I'm like
they would probably be more moth-eaten than what Ron's got.
Not necessarily. They had like nobody. Why would you curse your like? I'm thinking like there's no way Regulus's shit would be cursed.
Well,
so like you could have checked
them so that anybody who wasn't a black would die if they wore it, or things like that.
Or his mom probably would have cursed him out of spite. Nah, come back and get your robes now, fucker.
Yeah, I mean, she literally was the epitome of spite.
That woman would not take help if it was like gift wrapped and given to her. Basically, there was somebody that was making
Molly and Arthur have a higher chance of taking the gold from Harry than Sirius's mom taking any sort of anything
or giving any sort of anything
or that.
My overarching thought process, like somebody made a joke that the reason the Weasleys like won the lottery and stuff along those lines, it was the only way for Dumbledore to give them any money for like the trouble that happened last year.
Yeah.
Like every single time something bad happens to the Weasleys, there's usually some semblance of like a windfall
why
later.
They get some kind of like compensation for for all the trauma that they went through. Like,
To
I
be
could
fair,
definitely see, like, for years 1 and 2, like, why didn't, like, what, well, like, Molly having that kind of thought process about it, but, like, by book 4, end of 3, book 4, Molly's gonna be like, no, that's my son. I don't need any windfall or any comeuppance for this. Like, he's my son.
he's friends with Harry. It's collateral damage at this point.
Jeez.
Oh my god.
Oh, no, Harry's the son. That's
What if she thinks that... Oh, yeah. What if she thinks that all the shit's actually Ron's fault? Like, I'm so sorry, Harry dear, that you have to deal with this again.
I do like that.
I feel like... No, never mind. I was gonna say, I feel like Molly's got a better...
She knows.
I feel like... Well, me being the mom wanted to be like, I feel like she would know her kids better than that, but... How many times have we heard Ron complain about, she knows I hate maroon, she knows I hate corned beef, or whatever sandwiches.
She didn't give him corned beef this go around. She explicitly said, no, Ron, it's not corned beef. So she is paying attention to what he does and does not like. And I don't think we ever, like, well, we'll keep tabs of it next Christmas and everything, but I don't believe we mention the Weasley sweaters after a certain point anymore.
No.
But I'd like to think that's partially because that nobody had any complaints at that point in time.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't surprise me if Molly's a little slow on the upkeep when it comes to her son, which, valid.
And at this
And
point,
then-
I could kind of understand it. Because she's had back-to-back small children. Mom. She's bound to forget and just be like, what?
One of them probably loves maroon.
Who? No idea.
No idea. Not Percy.
It'd be hilarious if it was Percy and that she just kind of wanted him to be more like Percy, so she projected some of Percy's likes and interests on him.
It's like Tony Stark. I knew it was something with strawberries. He gets her Pepper a bunch of strawberries, but she's allergic. He's like, see, but strawberries are connected to you. So, like, Molly remembers Maroon and Ron, but forgets the keyword hates.
I mean, to be fair, at least with, like, the Weasleys, I've got, like, so many damn kids and everything. It's a little difficult to keep track of which one likes what. Whereas Tony Stark had one girlfriend and couldn't be bothered to remember that she's fucking allergic to something.
Yeah.
Like, we like Stark, but he's not exactly,
I mean, I guess that...
the best.
I'm going to throw this in Molly's court, in her favor. If her kids are anything like our kids, they're changing their mind every 5 minutes.
Yeah, that's true.
I hate corned beef. I love corned beef. I hate corned beef, but I thought you just loved... No, I hate corned beef.
I don't like mac and cheese. I love mac and cheese.
Or the Courage the Cowardly Dog joke. I want more macaroni. Less macaroni. More cheese. More cheese. Less cheese. Too much cheese. More macaroni. Less macaroni.
I don't like macaroni and cheese.
Knocks the thing off it and encourages so
Yep.
many levels of done. Yeah, you can't tell me that, like, it wouldn't surprise me if Ron actually did like that color at some point in time and just, he either didn't let her know or, like, didn't say anything the first couple of times before eventually getting irritated enough to, like, snap.
But he liked it
I'm
until
streaming
Ginny
right now.
started picking... Well, it's too late to stop now.
Oh, well.
We're streaming and not recording.
So,
Yeah.
for all y'all who are following and watching along,
Welcome along.
sneak peek.
My bad, folks. My bad. I hit the wrong button on that one. I don't think anybody's actually going to jump into the actual chat. So, and the Harry Potter setup doesn't have a chat thing. So, and even if it did,
Well,
I
rude.
suck at having the chat thing up properly because I've been trying desperately to get it work for my actual live streams, and it just doesn't want to cooperate. In spite of how many times I've refollowed the instructions online.
Fair enough.
Anyway, I do like the conversation that Molly has and stuff where she's like, "For my baby boys," and just starts strangling both of them.
was to go fuck yourself.
I was so worried The poor twins just like, we can't breathe, Mom!
And then turns around and yells at them for the wizarding wizards.
And then they throw it back at her. I'm like, you guys are assholes.
She laughed about it.
She did.
She thought it was funny in the moment as well.
See, here's the thing. I feel like if I was in Molly's position and, like,
She
I had
might-
the twins that I just pulled that shit on and then, like, turned around and scolded them a couple of days later and they came back at me at that way, I'm like, oh! Damn you! You win this round.
I honestly, that is such a point in Molly's favor, in my opinion, that she's a good enough sport to laugh that off. Because, you know, not every parent is necessarily going to take kindly to that level of backsass.
Right? That's the most backsass they ever get with Molly ever. Because they almost die, they can get away with it.
Outside of pretending to be the other one in order to mess with her. But I feel like that's just, right, that's basic twin shenanigan right there.
That's
You could
just being
have
a twin.
died. You could have been seen.
Could have been the last thing you ever said to us. Oh, man. We, of course, get the introduction of Rita Skeeter in this chapter as well, who will become a relatively prominent character for the next couple of books.
Well, oh yeah, I guess, yeah, she is important in the next book.
Yeah.
She does write the book in the 7th book.
Oh, Rita.
Yeah.
And I think she also is the POV character for, like, another one of the prologue chapters or something. I can't remember.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I'm pretty confident that Rowling wrote wrote another chapter that was from her perspective, talking about the Quidditch Cup that Ginny was playing at and everything.
Oh, well then, you mean epilogue chapters?
Yeah, it was I could have sworn
You said prologue.
So prologue was the flight of the freaking
Okay, so
Jameson
some bonus
series doing
content
thing. Yeah.
later, because she's like, let's write some more stuff.
Yeah, I don't know exactly where that is or anything, but basically she kind of, like, was going out of her way to imply that Harry and Ginny were, like, not in the same relation, like, in a rocky relationship or something, but considering it's Rita Skeeter, I wouldn't put any money on that assessment under any circumstance.
You would think at some point the witches and wizards would just be like, oh, Rita Skeeter's the author? It's probably all lies.
Honestly, it wouldn't surprise me if after a certain point that people kind of fell out of love with her regardless, because you can only follow a person making the same shit up over and over again before eventually you realize they're a one-trick pony and move on with your life. I can't tell you how many people I've watched on YouTube and everything, and after a point where I realized they were basically kind of just repeating themselves to a degree and everything, that I just sort of lost interest over time.
Ah! No, ma'am.
What's going on?
Sorry, our puppy's antagonizing our cat.
Yeah. She's just an old lady who doesn't want to play with you.
She's arthritic. Leave her alone.
And you already decided to concern me with my poor cat's health already. We do not need to continue stressing the poor girl out.
She's got ears.
She does have ears, yes. Most animals do.
Ear infection, probably, is what I'm thinking.
Okay. Also, this weather changing is probably not helping her much.
Probably not.
Because, I swear to God, 70 degrees one day and then immediately the next day drops down to 32? What the fuck?
Dude, I don't know, man. I'm just glad we didn't see white shit.
Anyway.
Don't tempt the gods. It was supposed to snow tonight.
We do get...
Get out of here with that
This is definitely one of the small moments of Ron's friendship and everything that I feel kind of gets skimmed over happens in this. Where Hermione is trying to talk, talk Harry into doing what she feels you should be doing when stressed out and dealing with things. And Ron's just like, you want to go play Quidditch?
He doesn't want to play Quidditch.
Harry's
He's concerned for his safety.
Actually, I love that.
A distraction, something to get my head out of this. Like, Ron understands Harry in an amazing way, especially in the books, and it's definitely something that's missing from the movies. Because, honestly, though, that would be a lot of fun playing Quidditch with your buddy and his older brothers, basically, 3-on-3 in the backyard. That actually sounds like a pretty fun, that sounds like a pickup game of basketball, only you don't have to hunt down your friends. They all live in the same house with you at the moment. We that moment and everything. We already we re-mentioned the Skeeter stuff along those lines, and Molly, I think, puts the kibosh on another potential argument about
The
Winky.
house elves,
Yeah.
Which, good on Molly. Bad on Rowling, because literally the only argument she can give Percy is, well, Crouch is a fine, upstanding citizen, and he can't be seen with this. Do better.
It is kind of
Do
depressing that nobody
Give me a
would
good
like
reason.
that nobody would probably care if like him being a dickhead to his house elf came out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Considering Lucius Malfoy seemed to get away with beating his in public, basically, more or less.
And not satisfied unless he burned his own hands, ironed his ears.
Honestly, the level of cruelty that is just allowed. The fact that Dumbledore doesn't do or say anything about it kind of says a lot about the state of house elf rights. Hermione's got the right of things, sadly, and it pisses me off
that she gets blown off by the adults in her life.
And Harry. You'd
and
think Harry, who openly compares his miserable lot in life to a house elf in at least one of these books and stuff along those lines, doesn't necessarily feel a little bit more sympathetic and attempting to like I'd love to do something, Hermione, but I can't help somebody who doesn't want to help themselves.
I can lead a horse to water, but I can't make it drink.
Yeah, I'm not a miracle worker here, sweetheart. We can think of something better we can do, like getting into the ministry and trying to change some laws or something. Yeah. That's probably our best.
I would be like, let's go talk to the other households in the kitchen. Not Dobby, because Dobby is crazy according to them. He's the outlier.
I feel like talking to Dumbledore and seeing it, like, seeing if you could find other like-minded wizards to see if he can figure some grassroots thing.
Talk to the other house elves to be like, what is it you want as a whole?
Yeah, like, to be fair, though, the Hogwarts house elves probably would be the, least easy to talk to in that regard because of the fact there's, it's like a colony. It's like a village, basically.
Yeah.
And it's, Dumbledore has already proven that he wants to pay Dobby himself. So it's not like they wouldn't be able to get what they wanted on their own if they wanted it, especially with Dumbledore in charge.
Yeah.
So I feel like they'd be better off trying to figure out alternative means and stuff and everything, because obviously the house elves at Hogwarts would be less than helpful in that department. It's one of those things where it's like book logic and everything. You could probably fanfic your way into whatever you need to happen and stuff, but since it's not J.K. Rowling putting it pen to paper and everything, it's not really it's kind of one of those loose ends that'll bugbear me for the rest of my life. It is interesting, though, because I think this is one of the few occasions that Percy gets scolded by Molly. It's usually the twins or Ron. You don't really see her going after Percy very often.
No.
Yeah.
And you'd think after this chapter, though, that Molly wouldn't be so quick to believe what Rita Skeeter says, considering she's kind of mean towards Hermione after the second task thing happens in that little book. It's friggin' wild.
Right? It's like, Molly. But, I mean, Molly proves to be hypocritical throughout the entire series.
Yeah.
That makes her human, which I appreciate, because if she was too perfect, it would be a little concerning.
Yeah, that's fair.
Honestly, I feel like she's a very realistic viewing of basically what counts to an old-school housewife.
Yeah.
Who's clearly in charge of the household, because I seriously doubt, even Arthur doesn't cross her. It's like, I may be the breadwinner, but I ain't in charge of this monkey circus. Considering she's got to keep his butt. Considering she's got to keep his butt in line half the damn time too, and everything.
Makoto. Sorry, guys.
We're keeping Makoto in line. She's being a little turkey.
Pixie just wants to lay out on the floor.
She's my geriatric. I love her.
She's not geriatric.
I mean...
No, I don't care if she's 11. She's not geriatric. She's older. She's a senior. She's not geriatric.
With
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
All right, we'll accept senior. When do I get to call her my little geriatric? When she hits what, 15, 16?
16.
She's
16.
gone.
No,
She's never going to die.
That's
she
true.
signed a contract.
Got a paw
forever.
print and everything.
Okay.
I will
And
hunt down a
that's-
scientist and kidnap them to make my cat immortal, I swear to...
Can do I have DNA from others? Can we go back? Can we have the TARDIS?
We can clone her.
I think she's referring to her poor cat.
And Jill.
That too. I don't know if we'd got enough
Pets
room
aren't
for
allowed
everyone.
to die. It's
They
not
really-
fair. Anyway, let's get away from this sad topic.
Anyway, we last bit of this chapter is the dress robes and everything else. I do feel kind of bad for poor Pidgewiggin and stuff and everything. Oh wait, we also get the conversation about like sending the letter to Sirius and everything, which isn't really a big part and everything. But I do like that Harry understands both of his friends so perfectly from the from chapter 1 and everything that basically the whole thing plays out exactly like he expected it to. I'm still bummed that he didn't send a letter to Lupin.
I know.
Out of all the people that he should have sent a letter to, it should have been Lupin.
Yeah.
But, yeah, that's friggin' wild. And honestly, as a person who didn't grow up in the best of circumstances and stuff, I really do empathize with Ron shouting, "Why is everything I own rubbish?" And I feel that a little bit and everything. Also, poor Pidgewiggin, he got his beak stuck in the owl tree.
Choked on it
He's
almost.
choking on it.
I don't understand why he's upset about that, though. Like, Pidgewiggin is probably, like, the most...
He's rubbish because he's stupid.
I mean,
So's my dog, but I don't call him
upset
rubbish.
about his owl. He's upset about his situation, and the owl is just cherry on top.
Listen, our dog is a dum-dum, and we know that, and we love that. And then our other one's a dodo.
Love them both. And I gotta be honest with you and everything. I do feel like I do feel for Ron though. And we like Molly, not necessarily like getting kind of frustrated in her own right and everything. It's just sort of like I do kind of wonder like, what was your budget? Like seriously. Like, oh my god, I feel on so many dang levels, but also at the other hand, if they hadn't spent so much money on their damn vacation and everything, and actually squirreled a little bit of that away.
Oh, from the year before?
Yeah, it seems like a
how are they
mean thing to
gonna
bring
know?
up and stuff, and I know, but at the same time and everything, it's just sort of like, I feel like that would have been the time to be like, Molly, on the off chance something bad does happen, or we need to make another random expense that we don't know about, why don't we, squirrel a little bit of this away, make sure everything's taken care of. As a person who's always been paranoid about money and everything and stuff, like, this this eats at me as a parent and an adult in my own way. Any person I know in my life and stuff that seems to always be constantly on the ledge and stuff, and just budget properly, please. Not that that's always
Just another
feasible.
example of why the Harry Potter world's magic system seems so weird.
Yeah,
They're not their magic system, their money system. Like, what?
there is so much about how money and magic works and why it doesn't necessarily work super well together. That doesn't, like, in terms of how magic operates and stuff along those lines, this would, like, okay, think about it. You can summon a fish. So that means, and you can apparate. And we know Arthur can apparate. So theoretically speaking, they could save themselves a good chunk of money if he apparates to a place where he can fish, summons as many fish as he needs, brings them home, cleans them using magic, and they cook them. That's a meal right there you don't have to pay a dime for, basically.
They have a huge acreage. They could have a farm. Just be like, and harvest.
Yeah, pretty much. It's like... It's one of those things where it's just sort of like, I feel like some of the wizards don't necessarily understand or utilize their magic nearly as effectively as they could have to sustain themselves, you know?
No. They really don't.
Well, while we're running out of time,
I was
We
running out of
should.
things to say anyway.
bring up the trailer finally dropped
Oh, right, yes.
for Harry Potter, the
Didn't watch it.
HBO
Didn't know.
series.
Oh,
Huh?
We talked about it. Never watched the trailer. Go
I've
ahead.
watched
Don't
it.
worry. Go.
I watched the trailer too. I am conflicted.
Yeah, me and Kimmy kind of both sort of walked away from that with the same thought process. We kind of felt that it wasn't nearly as bright and as whimsical as it should be to kind of represent the starting point of the series. It feels...
When did I say that?
Oh, I thought... That's what I said, and you kind of seemed to be under the impression that we were on the same page.
What? We haven't even talked about the trailer yet.
Yes, we have.
When did we talk about the
I
trailer?
could have sworn we talked about this.
We have
or
not
something.
talked about the trailer.
No. Okay. So
'Cause
in the
I thought it
in
came
the
out.
in our chat message, you guys mentioned it, and you're like, someone had thoughts, and you're like, we'll hold on to it until the podcast.
Yeah, you said that.
So unless
Alright,
you
I might be
talk about it
misremembering-
elsewhere-
Agreed.
I might have misremembered this conversation that I had with somebody else because I'm of the I don't really know who else I talk Harry Potter about with outside of Kimmy and my wife, to be
It
honest.
feels. I think Cameron said this specifically. The way that the lighting is feels like Stranger Things. Like
It's
it
very
feels
dark
like
trailer.
Netflix lighting.
Hmm.
Like we have to remember that it's not like a full studio unlimited budget kind of thing. But like it feels like it's just missing stuff. Now maybe it's because we didn't see any magic in the trailer. Not really.
No.
So maybe that's one of the things that's like what feels not as magical about it. Is it we haven't seen any kind of things like that. But like there's something it's not quite right about it.
I personally feel like it's not colorful enough, especially for basically going after the Sorcerer's Stone. I've always appreciated the fact that as the franchise went on, it got a little darker in terms of its visual motif.
Starting off as with the really with the brightness of it, with childhood, and then slowly as becoming an adult with the fucking war going on.
Yeah, it
turns
goes
dark.
from yeah.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
I've seen people actually showing like the WB like logo and everything.
Oh yeah, it definitely
Yeah,
goes
slowly
from like a
dying.
yeah, well,
Yeah.
it goes into like a dark and stormy sky, and like even like the logo itself gets
Starts to
Yeah.
deteriorate.
I honestly really was kind of hoping that they would have played a little bit more into the colorful aspect of it, but like it felt so dark already from the starting point.
That's disappointing because I remember reading this initially, and I'd like to ask Rose and get what her opinion is on it, having read the first three. You don't really feel it doesn't feel dark
No.
in the first book. Like 4 and 5 is that turning point of now it's dark.
It doesn't feel like the stakes are as high, and nobody really dies.
I honestly feel 3 is the turning point where it truly starts to get dark.
Yeah.
Because like
it is.
just the Dementors themselves are
Yeah.
just like a very foreboding creature to begin with. But there was a couple of things I did like. The Nimbus 2000 is coming into like a box and everything that actually looks much more of the style of what you'd expect from like the early 90s and everything, still kind of carrying over a little bit from the 80s basically. Because if I recall correctly, the first book takes place in 1991.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so there's, like, it feels much more of that era, if that makes sense.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, Malfoy's hair feels a lot more like, you know, what I would expect from that era. Because the slick back thing, I think of even, like, further back, you know what I mean? Like, the villain with the slick black hair.
So
felt
it's giving
like
more
an-
NC Bastard Boys vibes. for
Yeah.
Malfoy.
His hair's not it's just curly.
I know,
It's
but
not
it
slicked
looks...
back at all.
I'm saying the slick black villain hair is something I would
Yeah, 'cause
consider
that's
even
kind of-
older than the 90s.
Oh.
Yeah.
And his
Tom
more
Felton.
like the more curly-esque hair feels definitely much more of a feels more like a little bit more modern than the slick back, if that makes sense to me.
One of the things that I just didn't like in the trailer was when Ron asks, "Are you really Harry Potter?" and he like nods. He's just like, phew, like mind blown. I'm like, what? No, I hated it.
Is that not 90s enough for you?
That's not the point. The point is, it felt gross. It just felt cringe, and it didn't feel like he's a wizard. I didn't feel like that was something a wizard would do.
I kind of liked it. Honestly, I felt like Harry and Ron's friendship based off the trailer was so much more hit than the movies was. Because after a point, it felt like Ron was basically just the, comic relief character that they kept around. They sold me on their friendship in that trailer much faster and much better than they've done in the movies, to be honest.
That's fair. I think I'm definitely in it doesn't look, it feels like the Temu version of Harry Potter kind of group.
That's fine. I'm surprised I'm being the more positive out of everyone. I do find the cinematography making Harry seem much smaller. Like,
they're younger. I think that the entire cast is slightly younger than, like, Daniel Radcliffe's group was.
You think so?
I'd have to look it up to see what their ages were, but I think they started filming a little bit earlier. More, I think when he was, like, 10. And he might just be a small kid. He does look absolutely tiny. But then again, he's malnourished, right? So it should be like that.
Honestly, yeah, because it always sort of felt like like Harry felt so much bigger in the movies than what he kind of feels like he's being described as. Whereas this, like the way they're filming this and everything, Harry feels so small compared to everything around him. Like even though Vernon was bigger than him in the movies and stuff and everything, he didn't feel like as nearly as threatening as they made him out to be in the books, basically, when it came to Harry. Not to mention, I do like the
weird. Okay.
I like the wizard the Quidditch uniform. I don't know what it is about the way they styled it and everything, but I do like the design quite a bit.
So apparently, as of the production right now, he's actually 12.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So he's a very small kid.
I feel like when the movies were being filmed, that lined up, like, Emma, Daniel, and Rupert were all 11, 12 during the filming of the first one.
Honestly, other than that though, I really didn't have any serious issues or anything with it. I feel like I'm cautiously optimistic, though I'm not going to be watching this through legit means due to the personal boycott that I've had.
I mean, we're totally going to watch it through legit means. Totally don't flag us for shit. Don't... I mean, I'm going to watch it. Out on the internet.
I'm going to watch somebody. I'm going to watch it via somebody else.
Wait till we can get it from the library. Duh.
Oh yeah, they're totally going to put that in the library. Anyway, the other thing going on.
Get out of here, Sparrow.
I took some time to go through the Harry Potter full cast, the full cast audio and everything. I don't know if it would necessarily be a necessary addition to anybody's collection and stuff, especially if you've already got the Jim Dale or the other readers Harry Potter audiobooks and stuff. But
I vote every audiobook should be a full cast.
Honestly, I do appreciate having a full...
As someone with ADHD who cannot focus on a regular audiobook, having a full cast audiobook, I can focus. I can pick up the things. Missy
is an excellent McGonagall. Yes. She cannot replace Maggie Smith.
But she's damn good.
I believe her being Scottish more than I did with McGonagall, to be honest.
That's because Missy is Scottish.
Is...
Continuing to help my point, but fair.
Was she not Scottish?
No.
I don't think Maggie Smith was.
I'm going to look this up.
She may be, but I feel like she was more English than Scottish. But her actress's name is not Missy. It's...
She was
But she was Missy from Doctor Who.
Yeah, I just know her.
That's
as
how
Missy.
we know her.
And we also have Dr. House playing Dumbledore, which
Hugh Laurie, God.
But that did take some getting used to be honest.
That one fit for me really good.
Her mother was Scottish, but no.
Okay. She House as Professor Dumbledore. He does a pretty good job of it. It's still weird to me, even though he's an amazing actor and everything. But he's like, he doesn't sound old enough, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
He's doing an excellent job. The guy who plays Hagrid also sounds very much like the gentleman who plays.
He definitely sounds like Robbie Coltrane.
Yes, he does. He like sometimes I forget that it's not
Robbie
him.
Coltrane.
Everybody else does a relatively passable job. I don't think anybody some people only got like a couple of lines in the book and everything even then, so it's not like you're gonna be able to get like a really good assessment of everyone.
But the voice actor they have for Hermione is
Arabella
Stanton from this show.
But the thing is though is that the first 3 books have will have a different casting for the younger students compared to the later books.
Right.
So
it kind of falls back into that. Oh, book 3, 4, 5. That's that transition period of this gets darker now. They grow up.
They basically did 1, 2, and 3 with the younger cast and stuff, and they will be having a different individual to be playing the kids and stuff.
When they're older. Yeah.
So we're still gonna get, obviously all the adults are gonna retain their roles and everything, but just a heads up for anybody looking into these. Basically, is, there's gonna be a bit of a switch over. Overall, I personally enjoy it. As a person who read a lot of Star Wars audiobooks and stuff, they do like to at least put the sound effects in and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And there is an individual who put up an audiobook of The Hobbit and the Lord of the Rings trilogy and stuff by cobbling together some of the voice work and stuff from I think some of the movies and everything with the narrator and stuff with sound effects as well. So they had that whole thing. It's a little difficult to find, especially since a lot of the episodes have been tossed off of YouTube thanks to copyright shit and stuff along those lines. So you might need to hunt a little bit into maybe some less reputable areas to potentially find the full ones.
That reminds me of
it is worth it.
One of my favorite authors, Tamara Pierce or Tamora Pierce, depending how you pronounce it. All of her books pretty much are basically if not full cast, it's mostly full cast, except for 2 books. The studio that was doing them ran out of money and they haven't finished the last 2 books. And I'm like, no! I need to listen to them!
Can't you just stay and do that as a love project now?
Right? Please.
I will say, I was going to say about the full cast audiobooks, I do think that kind of got our daughter back into Harry Potter.
That makes sense.
I feel, because
the nice thing about the full cast stuff is that it's not just the character. They add sound effects, they add music.
There's been times that while we were listening to book 1, that we would have to go for a drive and we would be like, okay, are we taking mom's truck or dad's car? We would ask them which one they wanted to take.
She wants to go with you so she can listen to Harry Potter?
No, we listened to it in Mitchell's car.
Oh, so she wants to go with Dad so she can listen to Harry Potter.
Because, he's got the fancy Bluetooth that connects to the phone. I don't. But, she gets all excited now when we hear we're going in the car because, we're going to listen to Harry Potter.
That's cute.
So, I do think it helped get her back into it.
I've been reading the actual books with her and stuff. We're currently back into book 3 and stuff with the events going on at the Shrieking Shack. I ended one of the chapter occasions with, and he greeted Black like an old, like a long lost brother, and then I closed the book, and she was like, "What?" She was legitimately upset with that cliffhanger.
She's getting to the point where she hates cliffhangers, because I'm reading her Warriors, so we're each reading her a different book, and there's been times that the Warriors chapter ends with a cliffhanger. There was one in the last book where one of the cats got hurt by a car on the road, and
she's ever a sign that your kid might have ADHD, it's the fact that she doesn't like a thing to stop. When she's even when I read her the fairy books, she's like, wait, no, I need more. She wants more. It's never enough.
Dude, I read her 3 chapters of Warriors last night, and she wanted more.
That needs a animated show.
That does.
But, I should get going. It's wrapping it up here. You can find me at Luna's Creation Corner on most social media. Due to some snafus, there's been a delay on my Pokemon videos.
No.
But,
Can I have the Chocobo then?
There's been a delay
working
on that.
on it.
There's a delay on that.
Oh.
I mean, I'm more than happy to jump back on the Chocobo. But I also have to finish your daughter's Kwamis before she's disinterested. Actually, I could probably never make them, and, like...
Watch, you'll decide you're done making them, and then she's gonna ask you. She's gonna pester you.
I wouldn't worry.
You do you.
Honestly, at this point, I think she just wants specific ones and doesn't really want all of them. But, I mean, she hasn't even asked me for Tiki back yet, and I haven't, because I haven't fixed Tiki yet.
Oh.
I still need to get around to watching that latest season of that show.
Yeah, me too. But, anyway.
Where can we find you, Mitchell?
I'm currently streaming right now on
Oh, they can find you here!
Cole Sanders on Twitch TV. I play, I've been playing one game for an extremely long period of time because I just can't commit to, like, super long playtimes with having kids and balancing work and all that other shit. But show up here on Mondays and Wednesdays, and occasionally I'll jump on randomly and stuff to play some video games and everything if you want to join me. You
can find me on YouTube under Brandywine Stitches for all of my cross-stitching and crochet fun, and on the rest of the socials at Hockeytown Candle Co. for all of my candles.
Anyway, like, comment, subscribe, tell us what you liked, tell us what you didn't like, and always remember to keep your
wands at the ready.